I normally do that countdown thing, but that's like an actual extra 30 seconds.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Hi guys,
Welcome
it's
to the Magical
Diane from
Solution.
Angel Aura Spiritual Boutique here in the Village of Calling at 12 West Street. Welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight with me, of course, my lovely co-host Leilani.
Hi.
And Pina. This is Pina's first time on the show with us. Pina's one of the mediums that reads here.
She did the princess.
Well, it's going to be a fun evening. I'm glad everybody join in. And don't forget to give us a shout out. Let us know that you're there. And to let us know if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a little bit about the shop. It's a metaphysical shop here. And I sell many items, crystals, candles, jewelry, incense, soaps. Tarot cards. Oh, and I have to show you I got the Halloween tarot deck.
Nice.
Can you grab that deck for me? I wanted to show them if you guys wanted to come down and get something dark for the Halloween month of spookiness. our
Is that one open?
Our lovely Marion is up. Oh, there's some samples up there. So it's the Halloween tarot.
Super cute.
It's a super cute deck. It is it is all about tarot. It's not. Have you seen this one before?
Cute.
It's
no.
so.
Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Super
so,
cute.
The Hierophant is a mummy.
Nice.
And the back of the card is black cat. So it's really very cool. You want to see that one? I'm not sure what the pumpkins are representing. Could be the what do you call it?
Coins.
Coins.
Yeah, I was thinking coins.
I know we don't. I don't use tarot. I use oracle cards.
Give it to her. So
I'm
I'm good. I just needed the one.
This is great. Ghost. There's the ghost. There's the bats, and the imps, which is super cool. I love the imps.
That is awesome.
Okay, and don't yell at me for not knowing all the symbols on the tarot deck because I don't use the tarot.
I don't use them either. I don't resonate to them.
But Leilani does. Would you know?
Would you
be able to tell us what they
Oh
are?
God, there's a lot because there's Hebrew, there's Egyptian, so there's a lot of stuff going on.
The swords, or the.
I guess that depends on I believe the swords is air and mental. The coins is earth. You know,
so
the
yeah,
cups
pumpkins
water
would be coins.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. And of course the
and then the bats would probably be air.
Air, that makes sense.
You know, the ghosts.
The ghost, yeah. What do you
think?
No, because I think pumpkin is earth.
Oh, I don't know, y'all.
Well,
that's
anyway,
fun.
you figure it out. Come down and check out the deck. I do have a couple of them here at the shop, and it's a really fun deck. So I thought I would just throw that out there because we're in Halloween month. Yay!
Busiest month of the year.
Yes.
The best.
I love Halloween. It's always been one of my favorite holidays. I love it. I love dressing up, and we're going to be doing the Halloween party here. Woohoo! Don't miss it. Definitely come down. You must be in costume, everyone. We're in costume. I already got mine, and just needs to be pressed. And I'm so excited about putting it on.
I got mine.
You got your and you
still not yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, I have a couple in the back you might be interested
in.
Costume.
Give me some wings and glitter. It's a regular Saturday night. Yeah.
So I love it, and we're slowly decorating the shop here into Halloween themed. But it should be super fun. We do have lots of other stuff happening this month at the shop. I'll put my glasses back on so I can read to you what's happening this week. Tomorrow night is Stars. Star is in. She's doing the Evidential Psychic and Mediumship Development Workshop. That starts at 6. So if you haven't come yet, you can join in at any time. She catches you up. It's a real good workshop. You get to practice mediumship with her. This Friday night, we have the Celestial Shaman Rites with John DeBlasi. That is going to be a great workshop. Yes.
I'm coming.
I'm coming. It's multifaceted, multidimensional attunement, empowerment, initiation, activation to shamanic energy healing, gifts and techniques. Do bring your sacred objects for the collective altar. John brings amazing crystals when he comes. I know all you guys in here have experienced John's crystals and his pyramid. He also brings his copper pyramid, and he brings the crystal skulls, and they're amazing. They're amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. And he usually has something you can purchase too.
Maybe I'll bring my own.
Yeah. So bring your items, so you can put them there on the altar. It's gonna be fun. And that starts at 7 on Friday, so do come in for that. And of course, on Saturday, our lovely Leilani connecting to your spirit guides. You can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a biweekly class to give the students in the class the skills and the muscles that they need to connect with their guides. And once they start doing that, they get to kind of figure out who their guides are, how to work with them, and we kind of layer it up every week. So this week coming up, this Saturday coming up, our first thing we're gonna do divination. We're gonna talk about divination and practice a little bit.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great class.
Last week we were pretty full in here.
Yeah, it was a good class.
It was a great one. And Friday, I passed by Friday, I forgot Friday on the calendar. Our lovely Tina's here doing her reading. She's here every Friday. And tell us about your readings. Tell us about you, Pina. They don't know you. They need to know you.
I work in the angelic realm. Talk to angels, spirit. I'm a medium. I'm psychic if they allow me to be. It's only what they give me, I give. I'm just an oracle. Not coming from me, it's coming from the divine.
Tina's readings are fun. And Leilani's reading on Saturday too, also with her workshop. So if you want to come in for a reading with either one of them, do so. Great readings, you'll love it. What else we have this month? We have some. I know I'm going through the calendar now. I usually do it at the end of the show, but I'll go through it quickly. I'll go blah. On the 15th, Pina and Star are doing wine and spirits. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Star's class is every Thursday, and Leilani's workshop is every other Saturday. And you can book readings with any one of the mediums anytime. It doesn't have to be on their particular day. They'll be able to we'll make accommodations for you, and also we do Zoom. So every time I say Zoom, it reminds me of the show when I was a kid, Zoom. Yeah. Right? On PBS, there was a show called Zoom.
Leilani is too young for that. We know it.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah. Anybody remember Zoom out there? Yeah, that was it. So every time I say let's Zoom, it
brings back
right there
memories.
Like I'm watching Zoom on PBS. It was the other show you watched with Sesame Street.
Okay.
For the older kids. Zoom was for the older kids.
Yeah. Zoom was for 13.
Yes.
13.
So Wine and Spirits with Pina and Star on the 15th. That's going to be super cool. And come on in. It's a gallery. On the 23rd, Friday, October 23rd, John DeBlasi again with the Kachina beings and multidimensional experiences. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be super cool. October 30th, Joe LaCastro of A Millennial's Third Eye will be here. Joe, we love you. And he's going to be, it all starts with you, how to attract and manifest. Do come in for that workshop. It's going to be great. I love Joe's workshop always. We usually get very, very busy in here for one of his workshops. And then our Halloween party on the 31st. Woo-hoo. The readings are $35 all day, so come on in and get one for $35, 15-minute readings. And then our party's starting at 6:30, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, you guys really need to stick around for our parties. We have a good time.
We will have food.
Angel Aura knows how to have a good time.
Yeah, and it's a BYOB night, people. BYOB. I will provide some food. And then there is a local taxi service here. So don't worry about that.
It's first and second prize, best costume.
That's right. Yes, prizes, and more prizes.
I gotta figure out something.
Oh, there'll be lots of stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So I blabbed a lot about that, but I want you all to know about it because it's, so much happening, so many things. Hey, Joe. I can't wait to get here for your workshop. I miss you, and hopefully you'll be here next week to do the show with us.
Candy wants an astrology.
The astrology right now, Candy, I have to find someone for you. The girl that was doing the astrology at the shop, her daughter got married and then she got all wrapped up into doing her life stuff that she decided that she doesn't want to do it anymore. So, and one of the things about the shop here is that when people that join in to be part of our family, because when you work here, you become family. We're all family here. We're all authentic, and so it's a really tough thing to interview people to do astrology.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many different forms of it. There's so many different ways to read it. And the woman that was doing the astrology before started when she was 14 doing astrology. So it's not something that you can learn overnight to do astrology. It's something that
that's a very studious practice.
Exactly. So I try to follow through. I took some of her classes and I'm like lost. I'm totally lost.
It's a very complicated art, but it's awesome. If you know it.
And it's a great reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Laura does it.
Yeah. I think it's great. And it's so many different levels. Like you can get like the birth chart and where you are. It's crazy, but I love it, and I'm waiting for someone to bring me in mine.
I can definitely recommend a few people for you, for sure.
Hi, Corinne.
So we're saying hello to a few people. Hi, Maria, Christina, Rob, Marius, Patricia. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Hey, guys. Leilani's also streaming live on her page.
More questions, the better. And we have a live audience.
Yes.
Woo! So wherever we can get the questions, let's do it, you guys. Let's do it.
So shout out some questions there. We'd love to answer some of them. One thing that I was going to talk about this evening, which I was talking to everyone here earlier about, was with the kids going back to school now, and whether they're in school or they're zooming in, right? Is that the word? Remote. Thank you. Remote in. How they're dealing with the anxiety. I've been asked several times what would be the best crystal for the kids to be using, or a lot of the people that connect with us here, the children are gifted children. It's not all the kids are gifted, trust me, they're all gifted, they all have sensitivity to things.
Absolutely.
But how to get them to not have the anxiety, and we pick up energy even if we're not in person with someone through the remote. You're still picking up everybody's energy and anxieties and stuff. So what would be the best crystal? What crystal would you recommend?
I'm sorry, I was reading. She loves your purple stairs.
Oh, you love
and window
them.
light.
I'm glad you love them.
Sorry. To keep them calm, to keep their anxiety down. It's so weird because I resonate to so many different things, and it's hard to. I would rather the child pick it out, but
exactly what I said.
Yeah,
exactly
I'm feeling right now like agate.
Oh, an agate. That's a good one.
Like,
I didn't think of
that's
that.
what came to me just now, agate. But really, they should resonate to it, what they feel.
Yeah. Someone asked me today what crystal would be best, and I know that the child has many crystals. So I said, well, let her pick the crystal that she feels that's calling her, but also to put something, maybe an obsidian or something beside her that just to help with the grounding, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Agate. Yeah, that's a good crystal for that. What would you think, Leilani?
I guess it would depend. For me, I guess it would depend like what part of the child you're trying to address. Like, what is it that they need grounding for? Like, is it in their emotions? Is it their thoughts? Is it their physical body? Do they constantly feel buzzing? Like, what is it specifically? And then you can pick a stone based on that. So like stones that are found near oceans would be best for emotions. So things like Larimar, things, you know what I mean? A stone that's found like in a mountainside, like deep near like salt caves, that would be great for like physical body grounding, things like that. So like, taking into account where they grow, the science behind them, that helps to pick the right stone for your kid.
That's good. That's good. That's a good thought to think about too. I like that. I definitely like that. Sharon says obsidian is great protection. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, she's from from the UK.
Yay.
Obsidian.
Oh, Christina was saying lepidolite, selenite, black tourmaline would be great to keep them calm.
Yeah, lepidolite. That's been coming up.
I love lepidolite. A beautiful stone. Black obsidian, smoky quartz, angelite are also great. Amethyst is great for grounding. Grief for Larimar is good with grief. So if your child has lost a family member, that could be contributing to their heightened psychic senses because they're going through a place of trauma. That's really great. Thank you.
And so, and what I say to them is to they can talk to their angels and say, help to keep me calm.
Absolutely.
Some of the moms, kids that I deal with here in the shop they are super spiritual. They're very connected, and my own grandchildren too. So I deal with it with them too. And
take into account their learning styles and their age, because that'll help to determine what kind of activities you can use. Like for like a little kid, like your adorable little granddaughter, like I would do like going outside and having her dig her hands in the soil, and grounding that way and pushing the feelings and the emotions into the soil. It's more sensory. That's the age bracket that she's around.
Corinne, messages. We're going to get messages in a little while. I'm going to pull a couple of just the oracle cards, just to give little messages like that, not big readings. Readings, come into the shop, see us, and to be more detailed. It's not easy to give a whole big reading on the website. That's on the show. I'm sorry, not the website. My brain is out there tonight. I don't even know what's happening. It's easier to do a lot more things at the shop, but here we just want to be on the light side. So we will pull a couple of those later.
How about the audience? Does the audience have any questions?
I'm in floor sweeps. Someone is interested in Corinne is in floor. I use salt a lot and lavender too.
Ooh, a fun floor sweep. Get just baking soda. Do you have carpets or hard? It doesn't matter. Baking soda. Oh, here you go. Ground yourself, girl.
She has obsidian.
I'm wearing
No, for you. You're the one who was like,
Me.
Get yourself some baking soda, and you can. It depending on the floor. Like if you have wood floors or like stone floors, you don't want to put salt in the baking soda because that's gonna tarnish the stuff. But you could do that with like carpets, and rosemary is a great herb.
Oh yeah.
Sure. You can use rue, you can use bay leaves, and you just put it, you crush it all up, put it in the baking soda, put it all on your rug or on your floor, let it sit for 15-20 minutes, do a prayer, and then either vacuum it or sweep it up.
I didn't realize, I always did salt. My mom was a big thing about that. Get the salt, put it all over the floor, sweep it out the front door. That was a big thing, because that's
you can sweep it out too without sweeping.
Yeah.
Without touching the floor.
Yeah.
You can sweep the negativity right out the door. You start from the back of the house to the front, and you never touch the floor with the broom. You just sweep the negativity out. There's lots of ways of doing it.
No carpet, no carpet.
Okay,
cool. Yeah.
But honestly, you can simply enchant your cleaning supplies. One of the best ones for a wood floor, pine sol. Pine is such a protective and such a powerful herb, just naturally. And you take that pine sol, you enchant it, you give it the purpose of doing its thing, and then you clean your floors like you normally would.
I love it. That's a good one. I'm going to save that one. I'm saving it.
Okay.
I'm saving it. Certain things you save. I hear so many tips, everyone has different techniques and the way they do things. And so I love to listen to everyone's, the way they do their cleansings, their sweepings, smudging, their opinions about smudging, whether they're just person that just uses Palo Santo or they just use the sage, but I'm learning more about herbs and how to use them in cleansings, and so that's really good.
Well, I mean, what it is that we do is rooted in practicality. It's rooted in survival. It's rooted in just your day-to-day life. It wasn't like something you practice. It was just the way you lived. Yeah.
Corinne, those pine needles that you're saying you have in your driveway, you can actually wrap them and use them just like a sage. So dry them out, and then wrap them and use it just like you would use sage. So pine is good for that, definitely for cleansing. So every time I do like to collect the pine needles.
Oh, you should come to my house. They're everywhere. I'm picking them off the car constantly.
But you can use them in so many different things.
I know. I let them stay because they protect the house. They're all around that.
Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah.
So it feel like this week is like, it's been like a long week, but a good week. Like I've had a good week so far. Yesterday, I had a day of pampering on my day off, which was fantastic. Self-love, everybody must do it. Must do it.
For sure.
Must do it.
For sure.
So that was great. And it's so, I actually said to Pina today, I feel so much better, right?
Yeah.
When you give yourself that little self-love, and I've been cutting a lot of cords, which is, Pina's probably sick of hearing me say it by now.
That's okay.
And
then we played in the Halloween store, and I was being silly. And they had axes and swords and stuff, so I was like, cut the cords.
Oh my God, they had this huge giant pair of scissors I was gonna get for the shop. So everybody comes up here, cut the cords.
I made her walk through this thing. I knew the spider was gonna come out. I go, walk through there, just so I could get scared at the spider. I go, yeah. So she walks through, but she still got scared.
It wasn't the same spider I thought it was.
She was looking at Buddy here on the other end.
It was so funny. So funny. I love that stuff.
It's good.
I love that stuff.
How do you dry the pine cones? So when it comes to cleansing the home and the protection aspect of pine, it's the pine needles that I'm talking about, not the cones. The cones can be used for other things. We can talk about that another day. But just like any herb, you can just hang it on your window upside down, let the air do its thing. That'll take some time. If you have a dehydrator, it could take maybe an hour, even less.
You can dry them. Even if you put the oven on very low, like a 100 or 150, and just lay them out on a nice sheet pan and put them in there just to dry out. Just put them in there and yeah, you have to watch your oven, but it does smell, but the house starts to smell good too.
Oh, it smells so good. Or you can just or you don't have to dry them out at all. Take the fresh pine cones, put it in water, boiling water, and allow the smoke, the steam to cleanse your space.
Oh, that's good. I didn't think of that. I mean, I boiled it like I boil herbs just to make the smell in the house, especially cinnamon. Yeah, I love.
And you just take that pot, walk around, and just kind of fan it into each room.
I didn't think of that. Good to know. See, you learn something every day.
Little thing.
Kitchen smudging.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So Mary thought I needed to have all of these obsidians. These are, I believe, are the rainbow ones. I wasn't grounded because I couldn't find all my words.
You feel better?
I do feel better. Thank you for that, Mary. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. So what else have you been doing this week, Leilani?
This week, well, I had surgery on Friday, and so this week I've just spent recovering. That's it. And then I went back to work the other day. That's it. Well, nothing fancy.
That's good. That's good. What was Corinne saying?
She rescued 2 black kittens from under my boat. I called them 2020. Yeah.
That's super cute.
They could fuck out their mom for tomorrow, so I need to take them.
Oh,
Get sick. Oh.
Well, we'll send lots of love and blessings to them, to Mama.
2020. That's so cute.
So nice. Were we talking about that before, about being put in a place at the right time, right?
Yes. Yeah. Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
even after,
Even if an event is supposed to happen, even something like a pandemic or whatever, it'll still happen, but just it gets bumped.
it got delayed, but it's
Gets
still gonna
delayed.
happen. Oh, hey Candy, she says she hopes you're feeling better. You,
Thank you.
you.
I appreciate that.
That was you.
I'm really
What
enjoying
are
this.
you eating?
Those York peppermint patties.
Oh my
So-
goodness. Oh, I'm gonna grab this
Do
here.
you guys happen to have, because I'm getting a lot on my feed
Okay, go ahead.
of how to spiritually address, things like depression, things like trauma after coming back from a traumatic situation. Once you're in a safe place, once you're home, or once you've lost someone, whatever, and you're going through that down phase, how we deal. What's some advice we can give to them as they go through that? At least that's what my feed got, a lot of that in there.
Everybody deals with it differently. Honestly, I can't stand when people say, "Oh, it'll get better with time." It'll never heal. That's a lie. However, you will learn to live with it in time. It will never heal. You need to be strong enough to,
Just get to the next day.
Mhm.
accept
take the
what's
next step.
happening, know that it's God's plan, you can't control it, and just day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And having support around you, that's important.
Having your friends and
Your
family
friends
with
and
you,
family.
understanding how you're feeling, and when you have that friend where it doesn't matter if you're laughing or crying or just blabbering or
Right.
whatever it is. Her question was it about a loss of a
It could be
Loved one.
anything, just being depressed in general
depression?
for any reason.
Well, I think you really have to go deep inside yourself when you're in a depressed state. No matter what caused it, whether it was a loss or a loved one or loss of a love or whatever it was, or just, and sometimes we're just not happy and we get into a depressed state, is you really need to go inside yourself and find out what it is that's causing it. Take a
Mhm.
look at it and try to remove it from yourself and know that it's not, it really doesn't belong to you.
No.
You don't really need to be that person. I mean, that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But do try to be more in touch with your spiritual self and a lot of self-love where you're cleansing or walking, going on a walk, or treating yourself to a manicure or pedicure or a haircut or a facial or a massage. You're just doing little tiny things, little baby steps, little tiny things for yourself will help. And talking to someone and letting them know. And
Try doing a life inventory. Just get a piece of paper and put everything that's positive in your life down, and then what's negative. What's positive there is just to show you what you have and be grateful for. And the negative, you take one at a time and you say, can I fix it? Can I change it? If you can fix it or change the situation or the circumstances, by all means, one thing at a time, change it to make it positive. If you can't, you need to remove it from your life. This will help you get past whatever's troubling you that's making you so depressed. But then the positive side is affirmation, all the wonderful things that you have in your life. We forget to look at that when we're depressed.
I got that one day where we have to start making the list of all things we're grateful for that we do
Exactly.
have.
All your blessings.
Rather than, because you don't really realize once you start looking at everything that you do have, all the blessings that you do have, some of the other things start to disappear.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Hey, Candy. Thank you. You said very well said. Wow. I hope that helped. That's a big topic. That's something we could talk.
Yeah, I mean, mental health and spirituality overall, I think it's just that's a whirlpool.
And sometimes we just need talking to someone, whether it be a friend or family or a counselor. That's an important.
Just release it.
Exactly.
So, do we have any questions from your guys or from the audience?
My guys are talking about just responding to the things that we're talking about.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I'm glad.
You had, I remember like two of you had questions like earlier.
Get that card.
I don't know what they were. Earth Star Chakra, Initiation.
Wow,
Nice.
that's a good card.
That's a really good card.
So this is my newer deck. It's the Yamameria. It is a Oracle deck. So the card that popped out was Earth Star Chakra. I don't know. It's a cool deck. A jumper. That's right, Corinne. It was a jumper. It's a jumper.
Usually when a card jumps, you need that message.
We had this card earlier. Didn't this come out? Remember what it was about?
No. There's been a lot going on today. I can't remember everything.
I know. Well, this is the first card in the deck, so and it has, this deck is so cool, guys.
It's deep.
Where'd you get over there?
One of my guys is getting initiated later this month, like into
awesome.
a practice. So
Yay!
So yay! There you go.
Oh, that's the there you go.
That's awesome.
I love this deck. It's so cool. The artwork in it is amazing. It works with the elements. It works with the chakras. It's just a great deck. I love it. So I'm learning to connect to it and read with it. And I hope to be able to give you guys, every one of you, a reading with it at some point in time. It might not be today, but it will have to be at the shop. Oh goodness! But so here we go. Here's the thing with your cards. So they're jumping. I'll put them down for a few seconds because my brain went somewhere. When people come into the shop and they say to me, well, I want to get a deck of cards, I want to get a tarot, or I want to get an oracle deck. What should I do? How do I connect? And I say, well, the cards, you have to pick, the cards will pick you, go around, they feel the cards. Okay, all good and well. Well, how do you connect to your cards, right? What do? My thing is always to spend time with your deck, to shuffle your deck. And that's why I'm sitting here talking to you guys. So I figured, okay, I'm going to shuffle my deck. And they jump out and do things. But it's a good thing. So how do you connect to a deck? How do you get,
For me, I just resonate to it. If I see something and it's like, it draws me, it pulls me. I could look at 100 decks and I'm like, eh. And then all of a sudden that one just like pulls out to me.
So so that deck called out to you and you open it up. Can you just read with that deck right away?
I can, but I always bless them. I always put them to my heart and bless them, and always ask Spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call them, to help me to see with these cards. We don't really need them. They're just a visual tool. But they're pretty.
They help to validate the messages.
Help to validate. But I just, and then I start from there. I have to know. I'm nosy.
Round
Bridger and Manifestia. You must manifest. The Bridger is going into the next dimension. Right. And right now we are in a time of awakening where we are moving. And it's a beautiful thing. It's been the last 10 years or so where this whole planet is starting to wake up.
Yes. Oh, that was what I was going to read about. So this deck had, I pulled those cards earlier today.
And Manifesto is manifesting, pulling it towards you. So
it is
absolutely
great. Lisa has this deck.
I do have that deck. Do you love that deck? I love it. It called me.
It did.
See? It called
me. It did.
Yep. But when I got them,
that's the back of the card, guys.
Talk to them, come to my heart. Yeah.
That's the back of the deck.
Yeah. I love that.
It's a great deck.
Usually sage my cards when I get them home. That's the first thing. I sage them, and then they choose a crystal. All my decks have crystals of some sort, some kind of stone, and they choose it. I let them. But it's like today, I was leaving the house, and this deck came flying at me, and I said, "Okay, we're going. You're coming." This is my little unicorn deck, and it has its crystal. What is it? I think it has a quartz. It chooses them. I have so many quartz. I have crystals all over the place at home, and so they kind of, when I put them down, I'll come back and there'll be a crystal near the deck. So I'm like, okay, that's your crystal, that's yours.
When'd you get there?
Oh, lots of questions, but they're all over the charts. They're not anything to do with tarot. Sorry.
It's
What are you
okay.
talking
We
about?
can switch over.
This one is a great one. Lucianne, I hope that you don't mind me sharing this. I mean, obviously you asked. So this last full moon, my sexual hormones were off the charts. How do I get that to tone down?
Why?
If I don't, why, girl?
Go with the flow.
If I could give one piece of advice, if you do anything spiritual or anything magical, definitely focus that energy towards those purposes, because I promise you, your results will be astronomical. That's all I can say. If you decide to do what you will with that advice.
I think that shift just happened. I think that we've come into the shift that's happening right now is also a sexual awakening. I said it. I said it. It is. I do see. I see it. I've been
There's nothing wrong with it. It's our life.
I said it. Someone wrote you a big message there.
Yeah, these are like super deep. Here, this has something to do with the last thing. How did you begin your career as a tarot reader?
You? Me? Who's taking that?
Whoever. There's 3 of us.
Okay. Well,
let's all answer it.
I used cards. My mother was a medium, and she never really used cards, but she kind of decked it when I was younger, and I did play with the deck, and I was able to get messages from it. And then I never used a deck, so I just started. It's just giving the messages about whatever it is I'm feeling or hearing. So now I use Oracle deck or this new one that I got, or I do have other decks. Like I have, I don't know, 9 different decks. And they're more like validation for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know I couldn't answer the question as how I got started. It just happened.
Yeah.
Although Leilani has this beautiful tarot deck from a friend of hers who made this deck.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I want to tell you something. This deck is amazing. I'm waiting to get it. I am going to get the deck. And Leilani brought this deck in. Let me tell you something.
It's called Simplicity Tarot. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Simplicity Tarot by Emily Muniz. I brought it here, and Diane's eyes was like, she was like, let me see. And she like grabbed it and was like loving on it. She's like, this deck is awesome.
It was talking to me. This deck was so absolutely the deck was talking to me. I'm like, this deck is talking to me, and it was like bam, 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 bam. I was like, what? It was cool. It was super cool. But so that's how you just connect. You just connect to it.
Yeah, I used to use playing cards, regular playing cards when I was younger. I started when I was maybe 11 or 12, playing with them, and then I started realizing that they were coinciding with the messages I was getting. Okay. So I started doing that, and then I stopped because I shut it down for a little while. And then when I was about 15 or 16, I started with the oracles.
Yeah, Leilani reads with a lot of different decks, but
yeah, I started when I was 11, but I professionally probably like the beginning of college, because I needed the side gig to get through college. So, but it like that was the professional part of it. But yeah, I would say I started around 11.
Yeah, I didn't go professional until I was about 19, 20.
Yeah.
But I used to do all my friends.
Yet, people.
I used to do all my friends, and all through high school, everybody used to come to me. Oh, tell me this, tell me that.
I was the light as a feather, stiff as a board generation. So that was the party. That was the game we played at every sleepover. Let's injure ourselves. Let's pretend like we can levitate and injure ourselves.
Thank you, Candy. Sharon says that she's got many Oracle decks. I've got one that I love, Lumerian Star Child Oracle. Oh, that must be very cool. I've connected with these and learned crystal grids.
Nice.
Yes, crystal grids. I've just started working with the grids myself. I'm creating myself now this whole room right? A whole room of crystals and everything, and grids, lots of grids. So I'm gonna learn to use grids. Do you use grids?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I should ask you that question. No.
I love crystal grids. They are amazing. They are amazing.
I love them. I love them. I have a whole book on them now. The whole book that I bought had so many different ones.
Do you guys find it harder to read for yourselves? Are you guys impartial when you read
I don't
for
like
yourself?
what the cards tell me sometimes. I get very mad at them.
Can we read for ourselves? I throw a couple of cards here and there. You know what I do get? In the morning when I open my eyes, I see a number. And then I go to my angel number book and I read the number, what the meaning for that number, the message is, and it's always apropos. And I always get a number. It's weird because I'll open my eyes and I'll just see a number. And I'm like, okay, that's my number today.
That's cool.
So I know that's my angel.
Do you read for yourself?
Oh yeah. I think it's like necessary to do it daily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether in the beginning of the day to kind of help navigate the day or at the end of the day to help make sense of the day. You know what I mean? It's just helpful. It's just helpful.
I do for myself, and I don't always like what you tell me, but but no, I do.
So I guess the short answer is that we're not impartial. We are impartial with ourselves. Yes.
It's it starts to be a pattern. So if you do your cards daily, right, and you're not sure, but if you do for a whole week or and start keeping keep a notepad, and so then you'll start to see a pattern, and the message will come out to you. So if you're not getting the message from the cards at that very moment, if you're keeping notes over the week, it's spread out, and you'll get the message. They're giving it to you in little pieces so that you can really get it. Hello, Star, my goddess. Love to see that you're there. Hey, Star.
Why'd you give us a banana? Oh, that's a moon.
Oh my God.
Was I scared when I first found out I had a gift? Oh my God. That was a good question. So Candy's asking, were you scared at first when you found out you had the gift?
I wasn't scared because I had people in my family that were connected and my mom was really cool about it. But there were incidences that frightened me, but I wasn't scared of the gift.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like reflecting on it, I'm like,
I wasn't scared. It was very natural because I was young when, we were young when it opened up and stayed open.
So I guess you can agree with this. We just assumed it was just part of everything.
Right.
Like we just thought it was just
life. It was normal.
Until someone was like,
yeah,
yes. What are you saying? What are you looking at? What's that?
Yeah.
That's not there. Just together, girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my siblings will call me, "You're crazy,
crazy."
And they used to say to my mother, "Take her to a doctor. She's seeing things. She's hearing things." But it was very natural. To this day, when I was little, I used to tell my mother, "I'm going to go to bed because I want to watch the movies," and she never understood. One day, she said to me, "What are you looking at?" Whenever I close my eyes, I see images. People come to me. I see all kinds of things. So to me, it was a movie because I was a little girl and I seen images and people doing things. I thought it was a movie. So I used to tell her, I'm going to go lay down so I could see the movies because it was intriguing to see all this stuff happening. But but startled, yes. There's been times where I was startled and, frightened. I'm not going to say I've never been frightened.
I've been taken aback.
Yeah. There's been times.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying over there?
There's too much. I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
It's okay.
Lots happening over there.
Blue moon on Halloween. Yeah, there's going to be a full moon on Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
It's going to be a good one.
Werewolves will be out. You're welcome, Candy. We're happy to answer the questions.
Absolutely.
And you knew my mother. So.
You were fortunate to meet her.
Candy is actually
Rob. I'll answer that at another time.
I met her, but she's in spirit.
It's not the platform.
I didn't meet her in physical.
Talking about my mother.
Your mom is so awesome.
Mercury retrograde star. Keep it. Keep it.
That's not a problem.
Yes, we loved it. I've been talking about my mom a lot lately because her passing was not too long ago. Well, anniversary for her passing, I should say. But I think she keeps everybody jumping in here sometimes.
Yeah.
She does. I'll be talking to someone and she'll say, "Tell him this, tell him this." I'm like, "Really, Mom?" God, so yes, she's still giving it to me when she's on the other side.
Yes, she is. How many times she told me to tell you things?
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's so true. But that's it. That's the thing that that's how you grew up because that's what we knew.
Right.
So it was. I think the scary part was talking to other people about it.
Yeah. Right. Having them accept you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But when I was little, my grandfather used to tell me these amazing stories, and I only had him for 7 years of my life. But I remember looking up at him and him just telling me all these different things that would happen with spirit and how things would, and I was amazed. I couldn't wait for it to happen. I was like, why didn't it happen here? My mom was yeah, a lot of funny stories.
Wow.
If you guys were to go on a paranormal investigation, what would you do proactively, as well as in the moment, in case you experience like a spirit that you were not familiar with?
Protect yourself immediately before you even go.
How?
How would you protect yourself?
I protect myself in many ways. First and foremost, I call on Archangel Michael. I don't go anywhere without him. Stones, all different things that I would do. Different waters that I would put on me. And basically, I talk to Jesus a lot too, so I'd call him in and ask him to come with me. I've done paranormal investigations. I was with 2 organizations. I stopped doing it because they were coming home with me. Okay, you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is not where you belong. But yeah, and everybody protects themselves differently. But I always would call Michael and Jesus to come in with me.
And you?
How about you?
So for me, I definitely do a lot of wraps, anointed oils, certain prayers, certain jewelry that I would, put on beforehand. During the investigation, like if I come across a spirit that I was not familiar with, I think the very first thing you have to keep in mind is not to assume that they're going to be bad, right?
Mm-hmm,
so just
exactly.
don't go in there with a sense of fear,
Mm-hmm.
Because that's definitely not going to end well for you. So just always maintain calm and maintain authority. Remember, they are not supposed to be there. They're in this place and they're not supposed to be there. So you have a responsibility walking in to kind of take over that space and take control. And then the rest is up to you. You can, if some people use pendulums, some people use those talking EVP things to kind of determine whether or not that energy is harmful or whether or not it has bad intentions. But for us psychic medium kind of people, we just walk in the room, we feel whether this thing is not a good thing or is. And some of us with our gifts, with the clairs, we'll be able to get like a backstory, a name, and those are always helpful. It doesn't always happen. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's just a feeling. It's usually the feeling of how they died, or it's usually the feeling that they're currently stuck in at the moment as to why they're there.
Right.
And that's about it. And then at that point, it's up to the investigator what they're going to do next. Do they cross over the spirit? Do they leave it there? Do they?
Sometimes
I mean, it's different.
Is nervous that you're there.
Right. Mm-hmm. And sometimes spirit doesn't want to leave. For whatever reason, they could be scared to go home and meet their maker. They might not want to leave their material possessions or their family. So it's not always easy to get them to go into the light.
Yes, this is true. Very true.
That's when I start calling the big message help them to.
Because sometimes it just needs a spirit. It needs to be a spirit to spirit crossover, not a person to spirit.
Right.
Not to say that we don't have spirits, But in that
Lost
moment, you know,
Yeah.
we're functioning from a 3D place.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's better to kind of get someone that they know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
It's
you know,
even
The-
a family
and the
member.
best thing you can do is just talk to them nicely, no matter whether they're good or bad. You know,
Just stay calm.
Just stay calm and
Stay
talk to
calm.
them nicely, because angering them is not getting you anywhere. It's just going to get you hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never understood that. I'm gonna go into my little rant. I never understood that with ghost hunting and paranormal.
Yeah.
Like when they go in and they like antagonize
Yeah,
the
that's
spirits
ridiculous.
and say crazy things, and then they don't even cross them over. They just leave.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what the fuck? Like imagine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're angering them and then they're walking away.
Like imagine being home, you're hanging out, you're watching TV with your kid. All of a sudden, someone walks in, says, "You dirty whore! I know how you died," or whatever, and just like messes with you. And you're sitting here just eating popcorn, like, and you're just like, "Why is this happening?" After a while, you'd be like, "I think I should punch him. I think I should cause bodily harm, and then send him away." Right?
That is too funny.
Would you not?
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
that's right.
I don't know.
It's true.
I think
But
it's
it's
just
true. They
true.
go
That's
in and they're
absolutely-
antagonizing
Yeah.
you instead of talking to them and asking them, "Can I help you?"
right.
Right.
They don't want them to leave, I don't think. Where's the money?
Oh
Well,
yeah, there's a
but
lot of
they don't want
businesses
that,
that don't want their stuff to leave. And again, that's a moral question that they have to answer. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't come from that place. To me, that's not acceptable. But I can't tell anyone what to do with their space. You know. Now that's different. That's a haunting of a space that happened maybe recently or within the last 100 years. Let's not forget, you also have spirits of the land that are are in that space as well. And those, I do not challenge anyone to try and cross them over. Like,
No way.
you go on ahead and have several seats. You know what I mean? Like, those are spirits of the land. They're there to help.
They're there.
You know, if anything, they can help the haunted ones that are in that place to help them cross over.
Exactly.
It's
two different things.
there's so many layers.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to
definitely a
it.
different thing. Someone asked me about that, about if the land has the spirits that are there from, I mean, they from way back when. So here's the thing. So in a reading that I did, and I felt the spirits of the Native Americans there, and then on top of that layer, right? That's one layer. The next layer is the energy left by the at that time the war when George Washington was here. So in the area here, I'm calling and is
All kinds of
the revelation, right, right, and the George Washington's headquarters. That's what I was trying to get at. Is here in the village, and so they were uncomfortable with that imprint that was left by that. Right. So this is what. So I got this layer, and then I got this layer, and so this layer is telling me, well, they don't like. They're very upset about this layer of the energy.
Yeah.
If you can understand that,
Makes sense to us.
yeah. So it was crazy. I was like, "What's happening?" This, and then I got this, and so it's that was a lot.
That is a lot.
That was
Way
a lot.
above my pay grade, right? You're just like, eh. But yeah, that's a lot.
I like that line. I'm keeping that.
I'm keeping that.
Hi, Candace. She says, "Hello, ladies." Hello, Candace. Oh goodness.
Oh,
What you got?
there's a lot here. This is some good ones.
Okay.
So this is just a comment that I just resonated with. So imagine being a disembodied spirit and, you know, you're homeless, you're wandering around, you have no food, you're lonely, like you come from that style.
Mhm.
You know, that's your spirit. Like imagine now, and then now you're being taunted or worse, forgotten. You know, like that's sad. But the question was, have you ever had a situation when doing a paranormal investigation where you were rattled or even attacked by a spirit, and how did you handle it? Ooh, child. Like the popcorn.
I don't want to freak anybody out.
Zoe, come on.
Um,
All right, I'm gonna turn.
I've been followed home, scratched, my hair pulled, heard growling. Needed to get someone to come in and help me because I couldn't get rid of him. There's this spiritual priest we call Padrino, who I love, and he's helped me before when I've had some demons come at me. Because I've had a couple of occasions, and he was able to help him cross over. But so the answer is yes. There's been some incidences. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it. Not that I didn't want to help people. And if there was children involved, I still went because I don't like children being tormented or frightened. It just pisses me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been incidences. I just don't want to freak too many people out.
No, I hear
I don't
you.
want to get too graphic.
Yeah. I don't, you know, I've been lucky. I have not had a situation where I've been like thoroughly attacked. I've taken home residual energy and have fallen into like a deep depression for several weeks after. Lost a lot of weight very quickly, lost my hair, just got really ill very quick. And I had to do like a full-on cleansing. It was like a 40-day cleansing. It was very intense. So that's like the worst. Now I've had a situation because my specialty is working with disabled spirits, so spirits of, you know, psychosis, mental health issues, those who were actually disabled and have no comprehension of like anything, even when they were alive. And was still working with them. So I've had an encounter where I thought it was absolutely terrifying until I realized what I was looking at, which was, you know, someone who was insane, but now insane as a spirit.
Right.
And it was a very like rattling experience for me. And then I had to like recenter and be like, okay, don't forget why you're here. You know what I mean? Like you're here for a reason. And then to build the communication and to build that was very difficult.
Yeah.
I know, like I go home when I go home, I pass the psych ward, and it is so haunted, and I feel their distress, and it's hard for me sometimes. I pray as I pass it because I feel them like reaching out and suffering, and it's just, you know, it's hard. So yeah, it's sad that if they were ill that way, when they left their vessel, they stayed that way. That's sad.
Yeah, I've encountered a few things. I've had a negative experience. He's gotta go. That's what I said. You gotta go. But he left. I got rid of him, but he was definitely stinky. And so Candace said she has a sulfur smell in her home. Is that a bad smell?
What, currently?
Is that currently, Candace?
I recently had a sulfur smell.
Yeah, recently.
In my house.
Yep.
Okay, you need to cleanse the home.
You need to.
You have to cleanse the home.
Time for cleansing, my dear.
You know, Pina brought up a really good point. That when she was talking about how it was sad driving by the psych ward to know that once they've left their corporal body, that they're still intellectually and emotionally and all that the same. And that's a really good point. Like, I think a lot of people have the misconception that when you die, all of a sudden you just magically become, like, all the bruises in your body go away, your bones get fixed, and you get 20 years younger and you look fabulous, and like all that, it just magically just goes back in time. And unfortunately, that is just not the case. Now you have those who pass who during their lifetime were so good, so saintly, they had good virtues, they were just good people. You know, again, it's not like they're going to flip to the other side and become a horrible person. They're just going to be what that is. Now, in those kinds of cases, they kind of ascend a little bit. They kind of like, they can be called on as helpful spirits.
Right. Yeah.
You know, versus just the average.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, there's definitely. Oh, Mary has a question.
I actually had a spirit come and tell me who was paralyzed when he got his back. Not only did he tell me, he told his brother. So, although he had a motorcycle accident and put a he lost that when he came back. Maybe. I don't think he was very happy.
Yeah, I mean, the physical, I mean, my mom suffered terribly when she was on this earth, and I see her all the time, and she's moving and grooving, and she doesn't have all the pains, and, you know.
I think it's your I think it's the level you're at, your spiritual level, you know, and also,
and your consciousness, your state of mind. Like, that's why doing shadow work, like doing the internal work now will save you so much trouble. Because it's true, like when you pass, if your mindset is in the headspace of when you were sick, when you were ill, when
That's
you
where you're gonna stay.
that's where you're gonna
Mhm.
stay at. And your mom was like, Psh, I'm not going out like this.
Yeah, no.
And she just like had it. And so yeah, for sure.
Like, because
For
she even said
sure.
to me the night before she left her vessel, she said, I'm leaving now. I said, I know,
Oh wow.
you know. So I was like, okay. I said, but come see me. And she does. She wakes me up 3 o'clock in the morning. So she said it was a pleasure watching.
Candace said she's
Sage, she
sage
told
and
him to
told him
leave.
to leave. So did that work for you, Candace? Did it help you? I hope so. Many
Yeah.
blessings, Candace. Thank you.
It's 7:30 already. Oh my.
Wow,
7:31.
7:31. Oh, let me show you all Sadie. Miss Sadie wants to get
She's
in
like,
on
you
the
guys
action."
almost forgot about me. This is Sadie. The little button. She's the snowball.
This is Sadie. This is
Angel Aura's mascot.
This is the mascot. She's 9 months old. The mama loves her. Yeah. She's a little shaggy. She will be getting her hair cut. It's so hard to get a dang groomer. You groomers out there, my dog needs a groomer. I called 2 places this week, and they said, "Well, I'm gonna call you." One place I called said, "Well, she's just in the hospital getting out." I'm like, okay. But shout out a groomer, please. I did go to a couple, and unfortunately, because of the situation out there, with the COVID, she had the one woman, she had to close, and so sad, so sad. But thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been I think we had a great show tonight. Thank you. Check out my Facebook page. Also, the notes has a list of all of the events for the month, plus the event pages, and
booking stuff if you want to do it
you
online.
can book online. You can go to the website, angeloraboutique.com. You can book right on the website, whomever you like to book the reading with. You can do it through the Zoom or at the shop if you'd like to do it here. What else do we have going on the website?
She's in the UK. She can't help you with dog grooming.
Sadie's distracting me. I'm distracted.
Blessing and love back.
So
Light in progress,
anyway,
y'all.
do come in and see us. Try to make
Let's
it for
do
the
it.
Halloween party. I'm gonna say it every time I'm on the live until you come in. It's gonna be super fun.
And bring your own bottle.
Have a Halloween reading.
Oh, Halloween readings,
Halloween,
yeah.
The veil is thinning this
Right,
month.
and it's the full moon, right?
And
It's
every
a full
day it's
moon,
getting
a
thinner
Halloween
and thinner
reading,
between the realms.
Things are changing, things are shifting now. We're in the shift now. Time to wake up, people.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And my audience members out
Thank you
there.
guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. I love every
Blessings.
one of you.